Hello, thanks for reading along with me. I am on page 7 of The Big Wave. But why should the ocean be angry with us? Kino asked. We are only two boys, and we would never do anything to him. No one knows why the ocean grows angry, Jaya said anxiously. But certainly the ocean was not angry this day. The sun sparkled deep into the clear water, and the boys swam over the silvery surface of rippling waves. Beneath them, the water was miles deep. Nobody knew how deep it was, for however long the ropes that fishermen let down, weighted with iron, no bottom was ever found. Deep the water was, and the land sloped swiftly down to that fathomless ocean bed. When Kino dived, he went down, 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 until he struck icy still water.
All buses are now dismissed.
Today, when he felt the cold grasp his body, he understood why Jaya was afraid, and he darted upward to the waves in the sun. On the beach, he threw himself down and was happy again, and he and Jaya searched for pebbles, blue, emerald, red, and gold. They had brought little baskets woven like bags, which they had tied with string around their waists, and these they filled with the pebbles. Jaya's mother was making a pebble path in her rock garden, and nowhere were the pebbles so bright as on Deer Island. When they were tired of the beach, they went into the pine forest behind it and looked for caves. There was one cave that they always visited.
Walkers are now dismissed.
They did not dare to go too deep into it, for it stretched downward and under the ocean. They knew this, and at the far end they could see the ocean filling it like a great pool, and the tides rose and fell. The water was often phosphorescent and gleamed as though lamps were lighted deep beneath the surface. Once a bright fish lay dead on the rocky shore. In the dark cave it glittered in their hands, but when they ran with it into the sunshine, the colors were gone and it was gray. When they went back into the cave, it was bright again. But however good a time they had on the island, Jaya often looked at the sun. Now he ran out to the beach and saw it sinking toward the west, and he called to Kino, "Come quickly, we must swim home." Into the ocean, ruddy with sunset, they plunged together. The water was warm and soft and held them up, and they swam side by side across the broad channel. On the shore, Jaya's father was waiting for them. They saw him standing, his hands shading his eyes against the bright sky, looking for them. When their two black heads bobbed out of the water, he shouted to them and waded out to meet them. He gave a hand to each of them, pulling them out of the white surf. "You have never been so late before, Jaya," he said anxiously. "We were in the cave, father," Jaya said. But Jaya's father held him by the shoulders. "Do not be so late," he said. And Kino, wondering, looked at him and saw that even this strong fisherman was afraid of the anger of the sea. He bade them good night and climbed the hill to his home and found his mother ready to set the supper on the table. The food smelled delicious. Hot, fragrant rice, chicken soup, brown fish. No one was worried about Kino. His father was washing himself, pouring water over his face and head with a dipper, and his little sister Setsu was fetching the chopsticks. In a few minutes, they were all sitting on the clean mat around a low square table, and the parents were filling the children's bowls. Nobody spoke, for it is not polite to speak until the food is served and everybody has had something to eat. But when the supper was over and Kino's father was drinking a little hot wine out of a very small cup, and his mother was gathering together the black lacquered wooden rice bowls, Kino turned to his father. "Father, why is Jaya afraid of the ocean?" he asked. "The ocean is very big," Kino's father replied. "Nobody knows its beginning or its end." "Jaya's father is afraid too," Kino said. "We do not understand the ocean," his father said. "I am glad we live on the land," Kino went on. "There is nothing to be afraid of on our farm." "But one can be afraid of the land too," his father replied. "Do you remember the great volcano we visited last autumn?" Kino did remember. Each autumn, after the harvest was in, the family took a holiday, a vacation. They always walked, even little Setsu. They carried packs of food and bedding on their backs, and in their hands tall staffs to help them up the mountainsides. And then, forgetting all of their daily tasks, they walked to some famous spot. At home, a kind neighbor tended the chickens and looked after the place. Last autumn, they had gone to visit a great volcano 20 miles away. Kino had never seen it before, but he had heard of it often, and sometimes on a clear day, far to the edge of the sky, if he climbed the hill around the farm, he could see a gray, fan-like cloud. It was the smoke from the volcano, his father had told him. Sometimes the earth trembled even under the farm, and that was the volcano too. Yes, he could remember the great yawning mouth of the volcano. He had looked down into it, and he had not liked it. Great curls of yellow and black smoke were rolling about it, and a white stream of melted rock was crawling slowly from one corner. He had wanted to go away, and even now at night, sometimes, when he was warm in his soft cotton quilt in his bed on the matting floor, he was glad the volcano was far away, and there were at least 3 mountains between them. Now he looked at his father across the low table. "Must we always be afraid of something?" he asked. His father looked back at him. He was a strong, wiry, thin man, and the muscles on his arms and legs were corded with hard work. His hands were rough, but he kept them clean, and he always went barefoot except for straw sandals. When he came into the house, he even took those off. No one wore shoes in the house. That's how the floors were kept so clean. "We must learn to live with danger," he said now to Kino. "Do you mean the ocean and the volcano cannot hurt us if we are not afraid?" Kino said. "No," his father replied. "I did not say that. Ocean is there, and volcano is there. It is true that on any day ocean may rise into storm, and volcano may burst into flame. We must accept this fact, but without fear. We must say, 'Someday I shall die,' and does it matter whether it is by ocean or volcano, or whether I grow old and weak?" "I don't want to think of such things," Kino said. "It is right for you not to think about them," his father said. "Then do not be afraid. When you are afraid, you are thinking about them all the time. Enjoy life, and do not fear death. That is the way of a good Japanese." There was much life to enjoy. Kino had a good time every day. In the winter, he went to school in the fishing village, and he and Jaya shared a seat. They studied reading and arithmetic and all the things that other children learned in school. But in the summer, Kino had to work hard on the farm, for his father needed help.